My name is Charles Blades, and this is the Current Gaming Podcast. I am joined by none other than the magnanimous Aaron Weeks. How's it going, buddy?
It's good, man. So I've been telling you guys about the noise in my apartment building.
The noise. It has like a brand now.
Yeah, the noise. It's those people are just known collectively as the noise.
The noise, okay.
Evidently, Megan and others in this building have complained because they sent out like a mass email to the entire complex that was like between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. is quiet time, and everyone needs to like keep all sources. They said like I think they named a few specific things, and then they were like and other types of noise to a minimum. I guess that was them referencing the fucking. The furious.
They couldn't just say intercourse in the
having sex. Be quiet.
Yeah, keep your intercourse volume to a low hum. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like a fucking scream. So yeah, it's actually been pretty good since that happened. We have not heard.
That's good.
More than just like the bed hitting the wall. So that's good.
Hey man, maybe
Which I'll take that.
Maybe he or she's just in a dry spell right now, you know?
What if the guy realizes now that the girl was just acting the whole time and all those moans weren't like
their relationship
like,
fell
yeah,
apart?
maybe she was faking orgasms. That's another perspective we didn't have.
Putting on a show, you can just turn that off, huh? All right, what do I really mean to you? Now they're gonna break up.
Maybe that's what the yelling was her just
out.
Desperately trying to achieve an orgasm, and it just wasn't happening.
Maybe.
So now they've broken up.
A vocal orgasm. Speaking of orgasms, we have the newest furry in training. David Morgan, how's it going, buddy?
It's me. I bought a wolf mask to be the guy from Creep. I don't remember his name.
I thought it was Master Splinter.
No, it's like
I think after the turtles upset him really bad.
I think it's the exact wolf mask that he wears in the movie because that movie's shot on like a $500 budget. And everybody, I'm a furry now, which is. That's my life, so that's fine. I'm cool with it.
That's cool.
I'm good. It's my birthday today, not on Monday, but like while we're filming,
I don't have them.
You like dip one of these.
I was trying to do the noisemaker thing or whatever, but it just kind of looked like I was jerking off.
The mustard gas shakers.
What?
I had something to say. They used those were originated in World War I when the mustard gas was hitting. They had like clackers like that. To
see, I was imagining like
in the trenches
kitchen appliance. For some reason, when you said shaker, all I could think was like a salt shaker, but like mustard gas.
No. I was talking about the things that like you spin them around and they like make the clicky noise. So we got a good show for you this week. We got a light on news, but some big news topics we're gonna be talking about today. And of course, the number one thing on the docket is Rockstar and their treatment of their employees. This is a big news story this week. This is coming over at Wired from Julie Muncie, and it reads, Rockstar's work week is... Oh, no. There's a sub-headline. I'm reading a quick recap because there's like 4 different dimensions to this story. So the big news this week comes after Dan Houser, VP at Rockstar Games, claimed in a reported piece at Vulture that some members of the team had been developing Red Dead 2 had worked 100-hour work weeks to ensure that the game shipped on time and on target. While Houser framed this as a bit of a boast, the increasingly labor-conscious games press and community took it rightly as an admission of guilt. 100 hours is too much time for anyone to work on a game at just about any job. Since then, a number of Rockstar employees, so I'm going to cut this. So then after that, there was a bit of a storm, and like Houser then came out and said, well, it wasn't like everyone, it was just me and some higher ups, some writing staff that were doing that. And then Rockstar then went to their employees and said, hey, if you guys want to, you can go on Twitter or you can go on Instagram or whatever and talk about your experiences working here. And then since then, a few of them have claimed that this is not true, that they've seen work weeks of 40, 50, 60 hours in crunch time, but nothing like how they're trying to put it in the 100-hour thing. And Houser himself had modified his previous statement. Then going forward, there's another story on Kotaku about how a QA testing team in London, I believe, or maybe Birmingham, I'm not sure, has now got an internal memo that got leaked to Kotaku that now, like, overtime there is no longer mandatory, that workers don't have to like work 60 to 70 hour work weeks. They're a QA team, so I assume now is their time to like shine in the development, right as it ships, kind of thing, getting as many bugs out as possible. So just that's the overview context. What do you guys make of all this stuff?
I think
it's. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't have the quote here in front of me. It looks like it's not as part of this article, but there's like in his response, towards the end of it, he says something along the lines of, like, we don't ask everyone to work hard. Like,
No, he says we don't force anyone to work hard.
And he kept using the phrase work
thing.
hard, which is, like,
Yeah.
it has this, like, implication that I really don't like. It, like, and frankly, it's weird to me that no one else, at least no one else that I've seen has brought this up. It's like...
No, they brought that up on Kotaku's podcast.
Okay, gotcha. Well, even in just that statement, it like implies that anyone who's not putting in these 100-hour work weeks isn't working hard. Like, what the fuck? Like, in your defense alone, like, is kind of damning. I feel like, I don't know. It's just fucked up that your idea of working hard is working people into the ground with 100-hour work weeks, which is absurd no matter what job you're doing.
Right. I agree. It puts the expectation of hard work into this upper echelon of working crazy hours. I do believe him when he says that it was mostly him and the senior writing staff working 100-hour work weeks, because if you think about it, higher ups probably their clique is a little tighter. They probably can work more from home. They're telecomming, after work hours and on the weekends. I really highly doubt that like a programmer is pulling a 100-hour work week and sleeping for maybe 7 hours in the office every night for a week. That I can't conceive of a place where that would not become like showstopper news. Like, we all know that crunch is a thing, especially studios like Naughty Dog and Santa Monica and things. We've heard all those stories, but for that level of human degradation to occur, like, I think someone would have come out and been like, I quit, and also I'm going to the press. Like, but the senior writing staff, they probably have different expectations on themselves, and they probably define their work as a little different than... I'm not saying they don't work hard, but, like, writing a script and editing a script is a little less intensive probably than working on, like, a piece of, like... I don't want to say it's not hard, but like you can do it more easily from home. You can do it more easily in like a.
I mean, yeah, you're not like fucking putting cars together on an assembly line, but like it's still work is work no matter what work is. Like, in my opinion. I'm not
trying to. I want to clarify. I'm not trying to devalue a writer's job because it's hard as fuck to write, especially creatively. I know that from personal experience, but all I'm saying is like it might be easier for those guys to get in a chat at home, work on their stuff, as opposed to like, a person with not many connections in the company. Maybe they're newer, working, they have to be in the office, every time that they're at work, they have to be at their desk. So the expectation is a little different on somebody who doesn't have that status of a higher up, writer.
And you don't want to be the one guy that's not working hard and putting in the fucking absurd hours when everyone else around you is doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. David, you were saying that, like, oh yeah, I could see this maybe being confined to, like, upper level people or people that are not, like, in the trenches every day. Like,
he could have also been
kind of grunt work.
Being, like, a little bit hyperbolic, just, like, throwing out 100
I'm
hours.
Sure. It was like a humble brag. Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, even then, like, even if it's just the senior staff that's doing this, like, that creates a culture in your environment that, like, tells
they're proud to put in these absurd
that,
hours.
Like, that, like, oh, the boss is doing this, I want to be able to do this so I can get a promotion. And it, like, it fosters that environment. And, like you were saying, like, you don't think that, oh, well, the people weren't sleeping at their desk and stuff like that. Like, if you go back even, like, 5 years ago, there's interviews where people talk about, oh, well, we have, like, cots in the office, like, that people can, like, sleep in. And, like, it was never, like, brought up as, like, a negative thing. But that's, like, pretty fucked. And, like, a bunch of people have gone on Twitter and talked about how, like, oh, time and time again, like, at Studio X or Studio Y, that, like, we had a board on the wall that had the number of hours most worked in a week from people. And, like...
That's fucked. Like,
and that was, like, a hierarchy. And, like, there was a woman that shared a story about how, like... she was working like 12-hour days every week, and like on Friday she would bring a cake into the office to like as like a moral thing, and for a half hour you guys would all like everybody would chill out for a second, eat some cake, and then get right back to it. And like she said she worked at Rockstar too at the end of it. Higher ups came to her and was like, hey, we know you're doing great with the cake thing, but you guys got to do that on your lunch break. You can't do that like during normal office hours. And like fuck you, dude. Like,
get fucked.
And it is like I've heard the counterbalance to this. People have said like, well, like they have to hit this deadline. Like, That's how like these things work, and like move the fucking deadline. I don't like care. Like, yeah, it sucks to like delay a game or to like be wishy-washy about like when the like with Last of Us, we have no idea when that game's coming out.
There's a fundamental problem with the planning of your project if you can't meet your deadlines unless you're killing your employees. Like, obviously your deadline and plan is fucked if you have to force people to work 100-hour work weeks to get it done.
Exactly.
Like, fix your
like,
fucking plan.
People have talked about, like, if I'm working on a project, if I ship 3 games, and even for 2 months of those games, like, dev time, I have to crunch. That's 6 months of my career that I spent working, let's not say 100 hours, 75, 80 hours, which is unacceptable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna burn out long-form talent in the industry, thus creating, like, this never-ending cycle of, like, games, like, not having leads on them that are experienced enough from other projects that maybe they're like, hey man, I don't have to fucking do this for a living. I have programming skills. I can do something else that's way less taxing than making video games. So like, I've never worked an 80-hour work week in my life at anything. I probably max during the holiday season when I was working sales, I probably worked 50 max.
Yeah.
And like even then, like that's kind of like you're shitty. Like it's a shitty job. You don't care about it anyway. But like if I was doing something like creative or something like that I had to put effort into or work into, after like 50 hours, like I would not be like,
you burn out.
The return on investment is really not there if I'm being honest. So like, I don't know. You guys can keep talking. Sorry if I went on a rant.
It's the like social expectation of somebody stays longer, so everybody in solidarity or because they feel pressured is also going to stay. And then it creates
it's
that
optional, dude.
Yeah, it's
or like if you want to move up the corporate ladder, it's like, well, John's putting in more hours than fucking me, so like he's gonna get the promotion when promotion time comes up.
It's trash, dude. I mean, it's like that where I work. Like everybody, if somebody's staying until 7 o'clock, you're leaving at 5. They, kind of, you're like, sorry, I'm leaving, and it makes you feel bad, even though you're leaving when you should be, and they're staying late. It's like, luckily, I work in a place where like that kind of overtime it is kind of shamed. Like if you're putting in too many hours and other people aren't, it's on you to stop doing that, because then it brings the expectation up for everyone else. That's not healthy for anybody to work crazy hours. It's unproductive to be that way.
And most normal employers that don't have to meet deadlines, that it's just like your average job, not saying that any job is more valuable than another, but like if most employers are going to frown upon overtime anyway, because that's money out of their pocket. They're going to be paying more for your time. So they'd rather you get your work done in a timely manner and then go home when you're supposed to, I feel like.
Yeah,
in most cases.
Because these people are salary, they're like not getting that overtime compensation that like I can't even fucking imagine that. Like, and just they have the hint at like maybe getting a bonus at the end of the year if the game does well.
And it's not even like a guarantee. It's a fucking vague we'll give you what we can give you at the end of the year or hope it's enough.
While these the shareholders we're supposed to placate over all this stuff are racking in billions and billions of dollars in like microtransactions and shit that the gaming community hates to work these people for fucking like hours upon hours and like have them miss like their son's baseball game or have them miss fucking hanging out with their wife or their family. It's fucking gross. And it's like, I mean, like I don't mean to get on like a soapbox or anything, but like this is like why capitalism is generally like without regulation a fucking poor thing when it comes to organizing people and treating people humanely. Like it develops a culture of people being like wronged and treated in ways that are like slave labor is like a hyperbolic term, obviously, but like it is like fucked up that these people have to, and like they're programmers. It's not the end of the world. It's not like they're fucking like getting like their body beat down and they're gonna get black lung in 20 years. But like it's so fucking disheartening in an industry that's supposedly so progressive and so like futuristic and like stuff like that shit goes on.
I agree, but
did you guys notice that my computer had a freak out, or was it?
Yeah, your videos
you're
like
a little
your
frozen,
videos.
but it's okay.
Yeah, your videos.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not back. You're not back.
Oh, I'm not.
No, there it goes.
Let me try this. Okay.
Anyway,
I think it went to sleep on it like for some reason.
Sorry, I talked for too long.
That's okay. Anybody else have any other? I pretty much said my piece. Like I think there should be a point where you are nurturing more than than turning people over like that. Because it's better in the long run to have senior talent that doesn't leave after 5 years.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And it is kind of a double-edged sword. There are cases where I understand that there are just going to be times that you need to put in a little bit more time to get something done, and that's understandable in some cases. But like,
no one is saying that like in the last 2 weeks of a project, if like you got to fix this really important thing that's gonna make the game cooler, like, and like your team is like, yeah, we want to make the best game possible. Like, of course you want to do that, but like,
we're just saying it shouldn't go on for months on end. Like, that shouldn't be part of your plan initially. That should be a reaction to something that goes wrong.
Yeah, and it shouldn't, like, companies like 6 months, a year out, they're like, hey, we got to delay our game, but if we do everything right for these 6 months, then in the last 3 months we can crunch and do it. And
right, you should plan your project to not have crunch, and then if something happens and it's like, shit, we have to meet this deadline, that's when crunch should happen.
Oh no, David, your video's still not back, David.
What is happening?
I don't know, it's like still loading.
Hang on,
a little swirly whirly there.
Oh no, that's
you fucked the whole layout, dude.
Hey, there you go.
But you're back.
Is that better?
Yep, you're good now. Alright,
cool.
Well, that's it for Rockstar news. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just said I was agreeing.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, okay. That's it for Rockstar news. I don't think anybody's like boycotting Rockstar. Like, I don't disagree.
No one is going to do that. And also, I don't think that's the solution.
Yeah, I don't like I kind of feel this way about the NFL, even though I didn't watch it last year, because of the whole like players kneeling, anthem things, players being exploited, kind of that stuff. Boycotts like work to a degree, I would say, but once something reaches like a critical mass, like you can't really boycott it, like in my opinion at least.
You gonna burn all your Nikes, dude?
Like yeah, it doesn't really work. Like you like, even if I like disagree fundamentally with how Rockstar is treating their employees or how the NFL is thinking, like I still it's helpful to engage with the content in order to like be a person that can have the critical discussion from within to a certain degree. I think. I don't know. Anyway, that's a fun topic. Next up here, Discord Game Store opens up for everybody. This story is over from Chris Holt at Engadget. And it reads, Discord is marching further into Steam's turf by opening up its game store to all users. The store arrived in August with a limited beta, and now everyone can pick up their games directly from the app. The curated store includes recognizable titles such as Celeste, Into the Breach, Dead Cells, and Subnautica, along with a number of exclusives. Games featured in the first on Discord program. Oh, there you go. Will be available on PC through the app for 90 days. Developers are going to showcase their games in Discord's limited time exclusives. Blah, blah, blah. You can go further on and read that story over there at Engadget. What do you guys make of this whole Discord store opening up? We're using Discord to film this podcast and everything.
Discord should just combine Skype, Steam, and like any semblance of like social media that you would want, just by being able to talk to your friends. Discord is great. I love it. I think this is a good idea because it's more curated, obviously, because those are all fucking bangers. Every game on the Discord store is good.
It's also nice to just have a one-stop spot to do literally everything that you need to do.
Like more games store fronts, as long as they don't have shit DRM like Uplay, are good. Like GOG, that's cool. I almost said Good Old Games, which is just GOG. Green Man, that's cool.
Humble Bundle's doing stuff.
Humble Bundle's cool. DRM free. Give me more options. It's great. Now, if I have to install like a fucking Discord launcher, fuck off. But like,
I mean, isn't that just Discord like itself is the launcher?
If it's in Discord, that's fine.
And I don't even mind like Twitch has a launcher for all the free games they give you through Twitch Prime or whatever, but like it's super easy to navigate, and like it's when it becomes cumbersome where you have to like connect 6 accounts and like get a thing to like get your stats to show up in this session as opposed, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when things become a problem.
Yeah. I mean, Steam achievements are cool, but like, I like that. I don't care anything.
I mean, people do care because that's why all the shovelware exists because of the trading cards or whatever.
They're too easy to cheat. You can cheat them all.
Yeah.
So they don't matter.
Hold on, before stopping there about the Steam achievement. Did you see there's an achievement that just popped for people with the Stanley Parable? Yeah, that's for 5 years. I saw that.
Don't play it for 5 years and then you get an achievement.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it on release, so I can't get that for a while.
It's also like really clean looking and like pretty user friendly. If you just like mouse over one of the games shown on the store, it gives you like a little trailer.
Yep.
which is pretty cool. It's just it's really clean and nice. If I
Is
had
it home? Is it a Discord home on here?
I just went to like open up Discord and click store, and it brings it up. The only if I had any gripe about it, it would just be the fact that it's just another like thing that I have to worry about. Like I already have multiple launchers on my PC.
Just
like,
pick one. I mean, it's like good to have options, but like honestly, these games are all on Steam.
Well, like
If there was like a Discord exclusive game, maybe we could have a discussion about.
I mean, there is like they're like exclusive for 90 days or whatever. Some of them.
And that's like a really shitty, like a good problem to have, I guess, because like it's easy to get to all these things. It's just like, all right, I want to play Fortnite, so now I have to, instead of getting on Steam, I have to open up my fucking
Epic.
Epic
The Epic
Games
thing
launcher.
is, yeah, it is
Like that's kind of dumb, but
but what I was saying, well, I mean, I get it from like then they like I get it from a monetary perspective because then like all the skins and shit they sell, they don't have to give Steam a cut. But with the Discord thing, it's like I feel like it's a little different than Uplay and Origin and stuff like that. In so the fact that like people already have Discord, like they're not going to this just to buy games. They're doing it to like talk to their friends, being part of different communities and whatnot.
and it's really easy to just jump into the store, take a quick look, and still be obviously doing whatever you're doing in Discord.
100%. So that's it for the news this week. This was a short news week, not too much going on, but we have a little Metacritic, predict the Metacritic game going on still. So I thought we'd hop into that one if you guys are down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get something in your. It sounds like you got something in your throat. You okay there, buddy?
No, I'm fine. What?
Get that frog.
It sounded like you had a little like like back in the. I know the feeling.
I mean, I didn't think I did. No, I feel you're making me feel self-conscious now.
My ears playing tricks on me.
No, it definitely was there. Now that you're making me feel bad about it, I like coughed and everything, try to get it
It's
out
all
of
gone.
there. You guys have heard me. I fucking hacked the fuck up out of loogies, man. It's no
those are
joke in my life.
Well, you do it
And
just like anybody else, but what the difference between you and another person doing it
I have
is
no
that you'll do
shame.
it wherever you are and
Yeah,
just spit it
exactly.
into whatever
I don't get loogies.
vessel that you're holding.
Exactly. I have no shame when it comes to it.
Fuck. Gross.
So I'm gonna read off the winners from last month. So Red Dead Redemption 2 obviously is not out yet, so no one won that pretty much. Super Mario Party, I won that. I was 3 off. It got a 77. I picked an 80. Call of Duty got an 85, and the closest one to get that one was, of course, David, who guessed 84. Aaron had an 86, but we do Prices Right rules, closest without going over. And then Darksiders 3, I'm not exactly sure what that one got, so let me look it up real quick. Is that out yet, or what's going on with that? No, it is not. Darksiders 3. It got delayed till November. That's why we never mind. Anyway, whatever. So this month, Hitman 2, Fallout 76, and Pokemon Let's Go. So we can start off with Hitman. I'm gonna give it a 83. David, you wanna go?
Hitman 2?
Hitman 2, yeah.
87.
7. Big boy number.
Because did you know Hitman 2 features every map from the first game in the new engine for free?
I did know that. There also has Sean Bean. He dies in it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Isn't he called something like the Undying or like the
Yeah,
He
Invincible?
keeps coming back.
He like fakes his death.
I think he's like the week. They do like it's like a games as a service thing. They do like weekly
Yeah, he's
targets,
one of the.
and I think he's gonna like keep
super
coming
targets.
back, and it's like
Yeah.
a joke that he never
That's
actually
good.
dies.
That's good. I like that. Aaron, what do you got for me?
I guess I'll split the difference and go like 85.
85. Alrighty. Fallout 76, everybody's favorite RPG, turned into an MMO. David, what do you got for me?
That game's gonna get a 76.
6. Alright. Aaron, what do you got?
I'm gonna go
Hopefully lower, but that felt
73.
73. Alright, fair enough. I'm gonna take the opposite route. I'm gonna say 82. Because I think people want to like this game more than we do, is why I'm.
Bethesda needs a fucking wake up call.
I just think there's not going to be enough substance for it to review well.
I would love for it to get shit on because I don't want this to be the Fallout.
You confound people's hype with critical scores.
I'm just telling you, it's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen.
It's like you should be able to be like, I'm hyped, but like if it sucks, I'm gonna.
I mean,
say
I'm
it
not
sucks.
saying I do that when I review things, but I'm just saying that's what's gonna happen.
In that case, Fallout 4 would have gotten like really high reviews.
I feel like it did.
I don't
It
know
got,
that
like,
that's
87.
always a thing.
It
like,
did not. It has like an 80, I think.
There's no way Fallout 4 has a fucking 80.
I'm checking right now.
There is no way in hell that
Hold your butt.
Fallout 4 has an 87. I fucking called that on the nose. Suck my dick.
No, it
from
doesn't.
the fucking back, bitch. Let's go.
Man, what
fuck out of here. Yer.
So
Let's
overrated.
fucking go.
Stop.
I
hated
nailed
all
that.
of that.
Off top. Let's go.
That sucks. That game's trash.
That game's not good. Pokemon Let's Go. Aaron, what do you got for me?
I'll give it an 87. Shoot high on that.
87. I'm gonna go a little lower than you, and hit it with a nice 84. I guess I'm gonna go with that. All right. Now I've just noticed that all my scores are within one of each other. But whatever. David, what do you got for me?
Flat 80.
Flat 80. I'm in the middle on that one.
Yep.
So I think we all did one where we were in the middle, high end, low end on all of them. It's pretty fun. So
Interesting.
that'll be a fun month. We'll have more scores for you for Red Dead and Darksiders 3 next month as well. As far as the game is going, I think David and I are around the same with like 11 or 10 apiece. And then Drew hasn't played in 3 months, still winning. Hasn't played in 3 months and he's still winning. Fucking piece of shit. Anyway, that brings us to the new games coming out this week for the week of October 23rd, right? 21st? No. Saturday, Sunday, 22nd. That's what I want. So we got the Nickelodeon Kart Racers games coming out on October 23rd. Stardew Valley is coming to iPhone on October 24th. What else? Wait, Just Dance 2019 coming out this week. Aaron, I know you're all hyped for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else? What else is the big one? Paw Patrol. Yeah, Paw Patrol's the big one. Oh yeah, Red Dead
Fucking
Redemption 2.
Paw Patrol, dude. Let me tell you how much Paw Patrol I've seen.
Paw Patrol
Every
is in the
time-
social climate.
Every time I go see a kid in clinic, we put on cartoons, and it's always Nick Jr., because that's just what's on. And I swear to God, they don't show anything else. It's Paw Patrol from like 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m. every day, all fucking day. I've seen every episode like 3 times. I can almost name every single character in the show. It's like, and it's like just the same shit. Oh my God, I don't want to get started on Paw Patrol, dude.
So you're not a
too
fan
late.
of Paw Patrol? Does it have a good
It was
message,
like I
at
thought
least?
it was cute. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, this show's it's kind of cool. It's got something different. Like the characters are kind of weird. Like there's like some like French guys for some reason. I'm like, that's cute, I guess." And now I'm just kind of like, they just recycle the same fucking like 6 clips into every episode to cut down production costs, and I just get so mad. Best kids show on Nick Jr. in my opinion is Bubble Guppies, because that show is like weird as shit, and it has like Greek theater in it. And it has like an episode with like George Takei that's like Star Trek influenced, and that show is not on enough.
Do they count as part of that Yo Gabba Gabba? Yo Gabba Gabba was fire.
Yo Gabba Gabba does not air anymore,
Oh
I
no,
think.
that's hard.
I don't see it on Nick Jr.
What about Veggie Tales? Where do you come down with Veggie Tales?
That is like long dead, but that show is incredible.
That
As
show's
somebody
great.
like that show is still funny, and I want to plug one more thing in kid shows. Regular Nick comes on around 2 p.m., so I do get to see that sometimes.
Okay.
SpongeBob is like nowadays is trash, like, and it has been for a long time. Well, actually, what's his name? Steve Hillenburg.
SpongeBob is great for memes, though.
I was about
Yeah,
to say,
He's
that's-
the number one meme place.
Steven Hillenburg, the original creator, is back on the staff as of like I don't know, like the last season or 2. And they did a Halloween special last year.
Yeah.
The Halloween special is all in stop motion animation, so it's all
awesome.
like puppets and shit. But the production value is outrageous. Like the sets and the lighting, and he wrote it so it feels like an original SpongeBob episode. Like all the jokes like land and the timing is like perfect. It's like a really good episode, and it looks fucking incredible. I think it's called Bikini Bottom or something. Like
That's good.
it's so fucking dope, and it's like 22 minutes long, so it's like a whole like 2 episode stretch. But damn, that shit was cool. We just sat and watched that for like a half an hour, and I was like, this was awesome. They still got it. Steven Hillenburg still got it.
Cool.
And that's the end of my rant.
The big game, though, this week is Red Dead Redemption 2. Comes out on Friday on the PS4 and Xbox
No.
One. I'm sure
That's the big game this week.
Yeah, I'm
really?
sure, and not Paw Patrol, unfortunately. I'm sure we'll all be diving into that. As far as other new announcements and delays, Days Gone got delayed until April of next year. It got out of that one day that's like fucking 5 games
What's
are
coming
coming out on.
February?
It's like February is like the Anthem is coming out, and there's like 2 other games that are coming out on the same exact day. I'm trying to remember
Anthem, Jump Force. What? That's not right.
I don't know what Jump Force. No.
Hang on. I think it's Resi 2, Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, Kingdom Hearts is December.
I don't know then. This shit's all fucked up.
Resi 2. Shut the fuck
Is Kingdom Hearts December or January? Is it coming out this year?
Yeah, that was December.
Oh, I was thinking it was January.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Well, Anthem's gonna be cool. I'm excited for that. February's Anthem. Days Gone's gone.
Kingdom Hearts is January. Yeah, you're right.
Metro Exodus.
Metro, that's the other one.
It was just those 2.
Okay, well, I think it was that and Days Gone until Days Gone left, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that it was gonna get cannibalized by either of those, but Anthem might turn out. We'll see. I'm hopeful.
We shall see.
Cool.
That is all the announcements and delays, which brings us to what we have been playing for the week. And David, I know you've been going into this little franchise not too many people have heard of called Call of Duty. What do you think about that one?
So I'm one of the many people that hasn't played a Call of Duty game since like Modern Warfare 2 in like 2009 or something. Like I just I fell into this stigma that Call of Duty was for dude bros or whatever, and I was a fucking like 19-year-old and I was edgy. But Black Ops 4...
Yeah, you lost all of that. You're not edgy at all now.
Yeah, I'm not edgy now. Black Ops 4, I mean, I saw the buzz, and I saw a lot of people being like, this is the Call of Duty game. And I was like, I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm going to buy that. And so I went out and bought it, and it's fucking great, and I'm having a fucking blast. I don't even play Blackout. I don't play Blackout, like, I've played like 3 games of Blackout. I just play multiplayer. And, like, all the maps are great. The guns feel awesome. I mean, I play Control, because all the it's like having operators in Siege, right? All the different specialists have, like, gadgets and stuff. Mm-hmm. I play as this guy who carries around a nuclear reactor core and then overcharges it and, like, does, like, area effect damage through walls and stuff. So, like, if a team is, like, camping in a room, I just stand outside of it and kill them all. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
And so, like, once you find, like, your niche and, like, what kind of guns you like and things, like, you can really get a really customized setup. And you can even do, like, paint jobs for your guns, which, of course, I love. I like, make all the little designs and stuff. And your emblem, you can go crazy with. People have all sorts of, like, intricate emblem creations and stuff. But I don't know. It's just, like, it feels like a really good, almost like an arena FPS for how fast it is. But it feels great on console. And I never feel like I'm struggling with the controller to aim where I want to aim. They've really, like... It's easy to forget how tuned those games are.
Those games are like that, and like less so Battlefield, I think. But like those military shooters that are crazy popular for everybody are so tight when it comes to shooting.
Like
mechanics.
I always say, like Destiny has the best shooting, and it probably does from a PvE standpoint. But as far as like PvP goes, I mean Call of Duty's like hands down the best feeling shooter. It's something about Destiny like has that punchiness, but that's not really what you want when you're trying to like laser a guy from like 200 yards, you know, like it has the recoil and it feels good, but like the Call of Duty like precision is there, and it's great, dude. I can't recommend it enough. And I mean, it's worth I know nobody like I know really wants to spend $60 on it, and I get that because like Red Dead's right around the corner. But for those who are kind of maybe holding off because it's like, oh, it doesn't have a campaign, it's not worth $60. Like you're getting basically a $30 PUBG, which is better, because that's how much PUBG costs. You're getting zombies, which I haven't even touched, but is apparently like the deepest. It apparently has like the most lore, and like you have to research like how to win,
weird shit
and it's
that goes
like
into that game with the
you
zombies.
have to do like homework to play it right. I'm just not into that right now. But the multiplayer alone is like fucking great, and I've been having a blast. I can't stop playing it. It's just it's so fun. I did not expect this to be this into it, but it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome, and it does have the Battle Royale feature, Blackout or whatever. You say you didn't play it too much.
Yeah, I played it a little bit.
Fucking, that was my transition, ho.
Oh,
the Battle Royale game that we have been playing and that Aaron's been getting in on more is, of course, Fortnite, the never-ending monster that never stops. We had a nice little session last night, Aaron, that lasted till about like 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, yeah. We won 2
guys played
games
that long?
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, we won. I won 3 games.
We won one when you were off, and then you guys won after, I guess. So. I had one win yesterday.
It was a good time. It was a good old time.
They should have a Halloween event and call it Fort Fright.
Isn't this whole month like their Halloween
they're
event?
doing Halloween stuff, but they should call.
I know, but they should call it Fort Fright. That's
Fright Night.
40 fright fuck. I can't say it.
40 fright fuck.
It's like a 40 fright fuck.
Anyway, Aaron, you've been playing it on PC though. That's a new angle that we haven't messed around with too much because we're all console boys here.
Yeah, obviously like when I first started playing it was on PS4, but I recently started playing it on PC, and I actually like it a lot better. Because kind of like David was saying with Call of Duty, it's just I don't know what the fuck it is about Fortnite, but I just cannot aim on console in that game.
I'm with you, dude. It's so hard. I don't know.
It's that I don't have that problem in any other shooters, really. I mean, I don't know if it's because it's third person or if it's just I'm fucking just bad at the game, which I kind of am. But I have it's like a whole different ball game on PC. Like there's just so much more precision. Like obviously with keyboard and mouse. So I'm having a lot more fun with it that way. I'm still bad at building. Getting better, though. I actually took the time to kind of set up my control scheme in a way that makes sense to me. So I've been messing around with that a little bit more. But yeah, glad I got back into it. Been having fun.
Awesome.
I'm going to try it on PC. I want to get it downloaded.
The spooky Halloween stuff is all good. I think that's been...
Didn't we download it on my computer?
Bobby tried to, and then I made him stop to watch a baseball game.
Oh, that's right.
Red Sox in the fucking World Series. Let's go, boy! Come at me, LA!
Didn't they lose that game, though?
Yeah, they did lose that game, but that was the only game they lost that series. 1-4, 1-3 in Houston. It was awesome. I have been playing a game on the mobile phone device called Reigns.
The mobile.
Kind of an older
Are you
game.
playing a Game of Thrones one?
No. There is a Game of Thrones one. There's also one so in this game, the way it works, it's like a procedurally generated text adventure kind of game.
Right.
And it's kind of like roguelite in the sense that like you're like building a dynasty basically. So if you make a king that like has 50 years of prosperity, and then something happens and he dies, but like you have a good good church, you built some like roads and stuff like that. That all carries over to your next life. But everything else resets basically, if that makes sense. So there's also a version where you can be a queen called Reigns, Her Majesty. But I just got the king one because I think they're like pretty similar. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think they're just like reskins basically. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's like cool for a good like 15.
Isn't it kind of like Tinder?
Yeah, and that's how you make the select. So it's a text adventure, and like all the selections are binary. So like they're not all yes or no. Some of them are yes or no, but some of them are like, hey, what do you want to do about this mob that's storming the church? And you can be like, let them kill the Pope, or like bring the wrath of God down on them, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like that kind of stuff.
Those are some pretty fucking intense decisions.
Yeah, but like that's what the game is, and so every decision or two is like another year in your reign, and you're like the goal of the game is to try to like reign as long as you can. You have to keep the church happy, the people happy, the military happy, and like your finances in order. And like so there's 3 or 4 meters on the top that like you're trying to balance as much as possible, and you can't like let them get too low or else like the people will revolt because they're unhappy. But you can't let them get too high because then like the church will have too much power and they'll try to overthrow you.
You gotta put them in their place, dude. You can't let people be too happy. You know what I'm saying?
You can't let them.
You gotta keep them down just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta check the fucking proletariat.
It's all about checks and balances.
So it's a really cool, interesting way of them to approach this game, and yeah, it is like Tinder where you swipe left or right depending on the choices you're making.
Murder the Pope, murder the people.
But like one thing, like when I was saying like that things carry over, it's like there was in one episode it was like, do you want to hire a guy that can like translate for you about different stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so like 4 kings later on, this guy from another land comes over and says, hey, we want to make peace with you. But he says it like it's just like gibberish that you don't understand what he's saying. But because I had the translator, then I could do it. But if I didn't, I would have thought maybe he was like fucking trying to start a war with me or stuff like that. So it's like it's really neat the way it goes as far as that also. And the fact that it's on your phone means you can pop in for like, oh, let me do a run that's like 10 minutes long, and like that's all. So I very much like it, and I highly recommend it. It was like $1, so that's really cheap too. David, I know you've been playing this game called Obradinn, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so Return of the Obradinn is a Lucas Pope game. He made Papers, Please. I don't know if you guys ever played that.
Did you see the short film that went along with that too?
No, I didn't. I didn't know there
It's
was one.
fucking fantastic. You should 100% watch it.
All right.
It's like it's a short film based on the game Papers, Please. I don't know if he. Oh my god. I don't know.
You okay?
I just almost choked. I don't know if he had anything to do with the short film. He probably did. I mean, at least he licensed his.
Fuck, you should play the game, dude. You guys should.
I really. But the short film's fucking fantastic. You should watch it.
All right, I will.
It's like 15
anyways,
minutes.
it's not like Papers, Please. I thought his next game would be. I thought his next game was that Papers, Please ripoff that's coming out.
Oh, the one where it's like about Brexit. You trying to get into like a club
Yeah,
or
fuck
something?
them. Fuck that person.
Why? That's
for
cool.
so brazenly ripping off his whole motif.
I mean,
anyways,
yeah.
I'm glad it isn't. But Obradinn is basically you play as an insurance agent, and you go to this ship which is returned to shore after being lost for like 6 months, and you get on the ship and everyone is dead. You see some corpses. You see a few clues of people who have died, and you have to. Basically, what you have you have a magical stopwatch and a logbook, like a logbook. You go up to a corpse, you use your stopwatch, and it takes you to the point in time when that person died, and it shows a freeze frame of the scene in which they died. And you can walk around, and you can like see who was there and who was doing what. And your goal is to identify everybody's cause of death, who killed them, if applicable, and who they were.
Sounds kind of like that episode of Black Mirror where the insurance agent is like using people's memories to.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah, it's just like that. And it's fucking hard. The game is hard. There's 60 people that were on this ship, and they all have different roles, and they all have different relationships, and they all look different. You have basically a picture, like a sketch of how everyone looked, and you match them up with names. And the only way to do that is by deduction. Sometimes people get name dropped, like maybe 3 people get name dropped explicitly, but from there you just have to like go and like follow these logical like clues, and it is nuts. I've identified 15 people and I've played for 6 hours. Like, it is fucking hard, and it gets harder the longer you go because you've got less and less to go off of.
Are you doing it usually through like notes and stuff like that, or environmental?
Yeah, you
stuff?
have like your like ledger book is like
okay,
has every chapter basically that happens. It has everybody's death in it, and it has all of the people who were on the ship. There's like a crew sheet, and then there's a sketch of everybody and what everyone looked like, and you have to match the names to the faces. And then there's like, who is this? How did they die? So you pick a cause of death, a murderer if there is one. And the game is like, the real catcher is how the game looks. It looks like an IBM game. Like it's monochrome, and it's like all pixels, like, but it's all dithered, which means like the shading and shit is beautiful. Like the way light like is cast off of these things, and it's not cell shaded. I don't know what I would call it. But you should look up some screenshots. It looks fucking nuts. Like, it is beautiful to look at. And yeah, it's just really immersive. And I just was like going up and down this ship for 6 hours. I was like, I'll just find one more person. Once you find 3 people and you get them all right, it confirms them for you. It's like, okay, these are all correct. Keep going. So you're not just like running around trying to figure shit out and you have no idea if you're on the right track.
Yeah.
It almost looks like newsprint the way it's like.
Yeah, and I mean that's totally like a Lucas Pope thing.
It looks like a much more high definition version of like if somebody like made a drawing in like YouTube comments. That's kind of what it looks like. You know, like a high definition
like ASCII art. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Like, I can't recommend it enough. The whole presentation is just wonderful. Even if I don't, which I probably won't, solve all of the murders, I've had my fun with it. Like it's meaty, like what is there, and like you will be blown away at like the little tricks they use to kind of give you just enough information to figure out who each person is, but you really have to dig. Like, I'll give one example without spoiling anything. Like, there's like a guy who is being executed by a firing line, and you're at his like execution. You don't know who he is, and you don't know who any of the people shooting are. There's 4 people firing rifles at him. But you can only say that one person killed him, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, you have to like go behind everyone and like look at the like bullet trails through the rain and like figure out which one of them actually killed him, and then you have to identify them and him, and like there's this whole like side story that like he was framed, and it's just fucking nuts. Like the
really
game,
cool.
like it is just cool. And I know CJ would like it because you like true crime shit. This is basically just you being like the world's most intense true crime detective. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's so fun. Like I'm having a blast with it, and it's also got a lot of like Lovecraftian shit that comes kind of out of nowhere, but it's awesome. It's pretty brutal, and it really adds some flavor to the game's themes. But yeah, highly recommended. I love it to death. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
I have a last game for me. Dipped my toes into Assassin's Creed Odyssey over the past 2 weeks. Not too far into it, like 4 or 5 hours. It's cool. Like, it's not grabbing me super hard, in my opinion. Like, I think the storylines have been interesting. Like, it is trying. It's not trying really hard. I wouldn't say that. That's like a wrong way to put it. But like, it wants to be The Witcher, like, really bad, but it's like not there. Like, the combat is super Witcher-esque. Like, I think it feels so much like The Witcher.
That sucks, because The Witcher combat's not good.
Like, I didn't hate The Witcher combat. I just think it's like average. And like this game like takes a lot of the stuff from the game, just the pure game feel of it feels so much like The Witcher, in my opinion. Where like the trailers and stuff for the last 2 games kind of had me making, kind of like, in my opinion, made it look like kind of Dark Souls style of combat, where everything's like heavy and like your attacks like matter and like you can't cancel stuff. But I don't know, it just feels way more like The Witcher, where you're just dancing around, like flipping and flopping and doing as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think they're trying. They fleshed out, like, the last Assassin's Creed game I played was 2, and I didn't like it that much, to be honest. And like, everybody loves that game. So I was like, oh, this just isn't the series for me, so let's just move on. I don't think you need to have played the Assassin's Creed games. I mean, being a person that hasn't played them is like nice to say that, but like, in my opinion, it's just like there's no lore or anything that I'm not understanding. Like, I understand that they're going back in time to mess with shit, but like, I don't need to know anything about fucking all the different factions and all that stuff.
So I've heard like that some people like it more than The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think Cassandra's like a cool character. She's not like comparable to Geralt, in my opinion, and there's no one like serious. I think all your side characters, like, basically your main like sidekick character is this guy that, like, at least so far, that kind of like picked you up when you were an orphan and like kind of raised you, and he's like very he is not what's the Vesemir. He is not the dwarf guy from The Witcher. I can't remember his name. Or Dandelion. Like, he is not comparable to any of those side characters, in my opinion. And like, all the quests in here, where like, I thought Witcher quests were really cool because they would like, it'd be a small thing boil into a big thing and then like come back to the original.
Some of those side quests were nice.
Yeah, whereas this game, it's trying harder than a lot of side quests. It's not a Ubisoft like, all right, man, get 19 fucking backpacks from in that well for me, thanks. Like, there are like funny moments or stuff that goes on, but like, I don't know, like it doesn't like quite live up to the hype. But I am enjoying it. I will probably honestly finish at least the main like quest. I'm not gonna put like 60 hours into it, but like, the main quest isn't like that like long, according to how long it'll be. It's like 25-ish hours, so like, that's fine. Anyway, that's Assassin's Creed Odyssey and my take on that. What about Aaron? There's some stuff going on in WoW for the Halloween stuff that I know you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like talk about it too much, but there's patch 8.1 is coming out probably in the next like month or two, and it's gonna change a lot, I think, in a good way. There are a lot of problems with this expansion, like me and David have talked about it a little bit. Like, the Azerite system is kind of fucked. I think they're going to make some positive changes to that. It's still going to be bad, but better than it is now. And they're also implementing a fix to their engine that's supposed to, like, because WoW has been notorious for running poorly on even the best PCs. Just because there's so much shit going on, especially in like intense situations like raiding and stuff like that. Even if you have a high-end PC, it just sometimes it can chug, and that's because of a problem in the way that their game runs on your computer. It doesn't use, and it has nothing to do with your GPU. It's all about processing power. It's like, it doesn't use all of your I think it's like the cores in your processor. It'll max out one core instead of like splitting what it needs to do.
Like,
along
it'll
the different
overwork one part of it as opposed to using the whole.
Exactly. It'll use like a small percentage of what it should be using in your processor, and it like bottlenecks what the game can do.
Yeah.
But they're supposedly putting something in that's going to fix that, which is really cool and a long time coming. It's kind of weird that it's just now happening. And then there's a lot of new features coming with 8.1 that I'm excited about. There's going to be, I think it's like faction incursions is what it's called. It's like what we talked about when BFA was coming out, where there were Legion invasions in the beginning of Legion, which it's basically going to be that. It kind of sucks that it took them till 8.1 to implement that, but it's cool that it's coming. So just a lot of like good things to look forward to, since right now the BFA is kind of leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool. That's cool. I played the other Blizzard game, Overwatch, a little bit for the Halloween stuff. The Halloween skins are cute in there and everything. And they introduced, so there's like a deathmatch, like an 8-person deathmatch mode in it now. I don't know if you guys have played it recently at all. Well, there's an 8-person free-for-all deathmatch, but they just recently introduced like mystery free-for-all deathmatch, and it's the worst mode in the world. Like, I was infuriated. Like, usually in the deathmatch, I finish like top 4. There's like 8 people. If you finish in the top half, you get like a check for like completing a win in your arcade games or whatever. And it gave me fucking healers for, I kid you not, the entire game. I wanted to fucking blow my head
Is
off.
it solo?
Oh yeah, it's just solo. So it's 8 people free for all. And like it just kept giving me healers, and I was like, what the fuck is this mode? And then the next game, it gave me like tanks the whole game, but like bad tanks that I couldn't get kills with. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And then the last game, it gave me like Soldier, Mei, Pharah, and like 2 other characters, and I won by like 5 kills. And I'm like, this game is so terrible. Why is there not a system in place in Overwatch to like make the mystery stuff more balanced? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Because then it's not a mystery.
Like, but it shouldn't be a complete mystery. Like when you're playing mystery heroes, it should balance your team. Like, make this guy a mystery tank and make this guy a mystery attack and a mystery healer. Like, it's just and like make who's who a mystery, but like don't make it a complete mystery because the game has to be balanced in some way. Anyway, that's it for our show. This has been the Current Game Podcast, episode 72? Question mark? 74. Jesus Christ. My name is Charles Blaze. You can find me on Twitter at Charles Suthen, on Instagram at Charles Suthen, hashtag Charles 1 Minute Reviews. David, where can people find you?
My guy Dave on Twitter.
And Aaron, where can people find you?
Aaron M. Weeks on Twitter.
And you can find all our stuff down here at the bottom. And peace.